Good afternoon, members of the media. Today's press conference is in regard to a memorandum of understanding relating to the continuing development of Bermuda's fintech industry. I bring to you now the Honorable E. David Burt, JPMP, the Premier of Bermuda, and the Minister of Finance.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. To my ministerial colleagues, to my fellow members of the House of Assembly who are here with us today, including the newest member of the House of Assembly from the Progressive Labor Party, Mr. Curtis Dickinson, and our guests who are joining us from the Republic of South Korea and New York, I want to say thank you for joining us today and good afternoon. Bermuda's leadership in the development of a fintech industry supported by a sound regulatory base is attracting the attention of the world. This government's determination to produce the right framework for growth in this area has set a high standard. As I have said before, we promise to usher in an era of business development that, at its core, would diversify Bermuda's economy and provide opportunities for Bermudians to be more than spectators to economic success. We want to partner with those investors who share our goal of using the development of their business interests as a means by which to provide that economic success to Bermudians who, for far too long, have been sidelined. Today, I am pleased to announce such a partnership. B Seed Partners and FinHigh Capital, as well as BFS Holdings Limited, have indicated their desire to join with us in growing the fintech industry in Bermuda through the establishment of a fintech accelerator and an investment of up to $10 million for that purpose. The MOU we signed today sets out our agreement to work collaboratively towards that goal, and I am pleased to confirm that Bermuda Fintech Accelerator Limited will be a Bermuda-exempted company and is in the process of incorporation. Where goals are a fit with our aims and objectives, we will partner. Where the employment opportunities for Bermudians can be enhanced, we will partner. When educational opportunities for Bermudians are increased, we will partner. This is an exciting development which has come as a result of this government's clearly manifested leadership in this area. Our commitment to a well-regulated business environment means that those who do business in Bermuda will depend on those very same factors that have served Bermuda so well. I wish to thank this team for their vote of confidence in Bermuda and for the leadership that this government has brought to the development of this industry and to the benefit of the people of Bermuda. At this point in time, I will invite Mr. Wotae Chang, the CEO of BC Partners, and he'll be followed by Professor Yushin Chong, the Professor of Fintech at Sogun University, Seoul, Korea, and then Sue Yi, Partner of Fintech Capital, to address you at this time.
We are very thankful to the Premier David Burt and the Minister Wing King and the government of Bermuda for their welcome and this exciting opportunity to be a part of their fintech industry. The combination of leadership, impressive legislation, and a sound legal system has attracted us to be based in Bermuda. We are also grateful to Hyun-Sik Chung of Strook Law Firm in New York, working with Mark Pettingill, Chancellor Legal Bermuda, for their support and advice in putting together this Bermuda initiatives, for which a Bermuda entity has already been incorporated. We look forward to an exciting and prosperous future in Bermuda, which creates economic growth.
I am Dean of Management Technology, Sogang University in Seoul, Korea. Thank you for your gracious hospitality. I am so happy to announce that in furtherance of our collaboration with Bermuda, we will launch an educational exchange program with Sogang University in Seoul, Korea, which will further cultural exchange and educate young Bermudians in cutting-edge fintech. We are all looking forward to seeing them in Seoul soon.
All right.
Hi. FinHigh Capital is very pleased to be partnering in this Bermuda venture. We take the view that the island is setting the gold standard in fintech industry, and we're delighted to be a part of it. We see great potential for cultural exchange and educational development between Korea and Bermuda, and we are confident that the government is intent on economic growth and job development, and we're excited to be a part of this endeavor. Thank you.
All right.
We will now sign the documents, and then we'll be happy to take any questions of which you may have. But before we sign the documents, it would be remiss of me not to recognize, of course, the entire government works in support of this, but as we always call him around these parts, the Minister of Blockchain, responsible for FinTech, Minister Wayne Keynes, who has been instrumental in advancing this. And this was one of the things that came out of our visit to Consensus in New York. So when people ask what comes out of when we travel to these conferences, this is a fine example of business, the government working with the private sector, and our business development agency to make things happen to Bermuda. And so thank you, Minister Keynes, and thank you.
Congratulations.
And I'm sure all the media took kind notes and attention that all of our guests today are wearing their wonderful Bermuda lapel pins. I'm happy to take any questions at this point in time. Chairman, if there's anything. Any questions, colleagues?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Premier. In the budget statement, you did mention that there would be new types of financing or financing mechanisms for ICOs as banks are unable to deal with cryptocurrency. Is this one type of method of achievement?
I would say that this is an investment in Bermuda, and this is an investment that these companies have indicated that they want to use Bermuda as a base for operations for development. The question, I think, which you may be trying to get at is the challenge that companies in this space are facing inside of banking. And what I can inform you and the general public at large who are listening online is that the government is actively working with its partners and will be looking to make an announcement on the path forward within 2 weeks.
What types of financing mechanisms do you think are available?
Well, financing mechanisms that are available in the digital asset space are wide and varied, whether they be traditional token offerings, coin offerings, or security token offerings. But I think the question is, when those offerings are done, where is the money stored? And that is a challenge that many jurisdictions are dealing with. But Bermuda has a solution, and when it is finalized, we'll be happy to announce it. And I think the timeline will be announced before the end. We will certainly announce it before the end of this month. Paul, anything?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I guess my question, you said this is a direct result of, I guess, the Bermuda delegation attending Consensus in New York. So obviously this has been something that's been in the works for a little while, and I understand some of the visitors here today come from Norway, South Korea. Notice of this press conference only came to us about 30 minutes ago. Clearly, you knew some of these guests would be arriving quite a while ago. I wonder why the late notification to media about this MOU signing today.
Well, what I can say is that it was decided yesterday, but as you can imagine, members of the government have been rather busy. What I would say, and with the by-election and other things in the House today, what I would say is that I apologize for the late notice, but the late notice does not in any way, shape, or form deprecate from what has happened today. And what has happened today is that there is another vote of confidence for the direction of this government, for the work of which we've done, for the outreach of not only the government, but the government working with our private sector partners who have traveled at their own expense overseas to continue to drum up business for Bermuda. So this is a positive step. I apologize for the short notice, and I thank you for your attendance.
Is there any further details that can be given about the educational component to this MOU sign?
I'll be happy to provide those details further. I think what the MOU is setting out is that we're exploring these particular issues. I think that you heard from Professor Yu-Shin Chong that there will be an exchange program that will be set up that will allow and to facilitate that type of exchange. Professor Yu-Shin Chong is a professor at Fintech and is very highly regarded. And I think that part of the things of which you would have heard, not only from the Minister of Education in his statement earlier today, we're in the House of Assembly, where he said that we're going to be increasing the amount of educational activities which are going to be provided to Bermudians in this space. I think that there's more to come. So we will develop those, and when those are finalized, we will certainly announce it. But I think the news today, clearly, is that we've signed this MOU, we're moving forward on these particular issues, and there will be an exchange program that will be put in place to allow Bermudians to travel to South Korea and vice versa.
Do you know of any Bermudians studying actively in the field of fintech?
Well, fintech is a very broad field, but one of the most important things inside of fintech, and this is actually mathematics, and that's based in cryptography is based on mathematics. And there are a large number of persons in Bermuda that actually study mathematics. I met one last night at the by-election. We've received a few resumes from other persons who we've spoken to who've been involved in mathematics. The Minister responsible for Workforce Development will be collating those and making sure that our partners have a pool of persons to come from. The fintech work permits, which the Minister of Home Affairs stated in Parliament about 3 weeks ago, require there to be a plan submitted for the development of Bermudians and the hiring of in entry-level positions. Our partners are all committed to doing that, and we will see that development take place from that. But to answer your question, fintech specifically, there aren't very many actual degrees that say fintech. But the type of things that are around those, such as mathematics and computer science, we have Bermudians that are engaged in that, and we'll be happy to make sure they have an actual path for employment here in Bermuda.
And has this given government more incentive to improve mathematics in the public school system, considering the poor results?
What I would say is that the Minister of Education provided an update to Cabinet on our educational reform activities, and the Minister of Education will be providing that update to the House of Assembly within 2 weeks. Anything else, colleagues? All right, thank you very much.
Vivian, just one moment.